Hit the start button of the recording, switch screens. Okay, guys, welcome back to our, what I believe is our 31st session of Arcadia. Hopefully Hyde will join us in a little bit. In any event, I do have a few pre-game announcements before I go into the recap.
Hey,
First being that starting in October, we will hopefully be able to go back to a weekly basis. Of course, that is still dependent on my work schedule not changing between now and then. But, all things go well, we should go back to weekly. Um, the other announcement I have is that starting, let me look at a calendar real fast. So I guess the 30th, actually. So September 30th. I'm going to be trying a new method of broadcasting. Visual and audio should not change for the stream, but since I'm moving my whole office around to possibly actually start using my webcam, things might. So just a small heads up. What else? What else do I have? Actually, I think that's it I have for this group. Yeah. So without any further ado, let me jump into the recap. So, where we last left off with you guys, the main event, as it were, was I would call it a heated bout between one Commander Crowley and one Lieutenant Junior Grade Marcus Klein. The battle was, as I said, heated. The exchanges were frankly brutal, and Hailong's commentary left much to be desired. But in any event, it turned out that through a little bit of dirty play on both sides and a little bit of lucky rolling, Klein ended up the victor. Now, of course, he didn't rub it in too much, but shortly thereafter the fight, there came in a call from Starfleet Command. You were all then instructed to go check out a call from Tovan 3. Now, Tovan 3 was a planet that pretty much had remained neutral throughout the wars of the Federation, including the one fairly recently, actually, in Federation history with the Cardassians. So when the Dominion War started, they pretty much threw up the white flag and continued their neutrality. So getting a call from them was kind of a big deal. It was kind of a rush to see whether the Federation or the Dominion would be able to solve their problems first. So off you went. And when you arrived at Tovan 3, you began to get inklings that something was indeed very, very wrong. The first thing that you guys encountered was a child, Ephran, that had aged rapidly, where a 6-month-old should obviously still be a baby. This child, Ephran, was physically in the body of a 6-year-old. And, you ran some scans, you took some readings, and you confirmed that he was indeed being aged rapidly by some outside force. You thought it might have been related to the way his mother may have carried during the pregnancy. You checked things like food, water, other supplies that they may have interacted with, but everything seemed to be pointing towards an outward source. So, with that little mystery in the back of your heads, you guys moved on to a pile of buildings, or what was left of them anyway. And these buildings were made of the same material as starship hulls. And like the child, they showed rapid aging of some sort. Something that basically accelerated their decay to the point where the metal was basically crumbling beneath your touch. Obviously, bad thing, because if starship hull material can decay that fast, then whatever is affecting it, whatever this outside source was, if it was turned into a weapon, that's bad news bears. So, mystery mounting, you then moved on. You were on your way to the Science Center to oversee and sort of get I would call it a broad overview of the tectonic activity in the area, which supposedly was accelerating beyond what it should. Along the way, though, you got a message, or rather your guide, the quote-unquote, I would call him planetary governor, but he definitely doesn't call himself that. The governor, where is his name? Kirsagan, got a call-in that said the Dominion delegation would be there within, I think I said, a couple hours' time, which meant that they had moved up how fast they were traveling to the system. Now, of course, this was confirmed in orbit by the Arcadia, and that's pretty much where we left off last session. Two quick things I forgot to mention. During the whole split off to go to Tovan 3, both Commander Crowley and Lieutenant Sin dropped off in the Roddenberry to maintain the Arcadia's patrol route. And the other thing I have to mention, that was supposed to be part of the announcements, but I forgot, is that, as I told the players, or at least some of them, this could be a short session, this could not be. But whatever happens, I'll be uploading both this part and the past part at once, so you all can enjoy it. With that, we're going to switch maps and pick things right back up where we left them. So, you guys are in the middle of a town square. It's kind of got a stone, almost medieval look to it. And yeah, you have just gotten the confirmation from the Arcadia that the Dominion ship will be there within a mere couple of hours. And what would you like to do?
Carruthers was wanting to go check geological records and readings.
Okay. Well, that would be at the Science Center.
You'll definitely make a hasty motion, like, I think we should proceed there quickly if we only have a couple of hours, maybe less, if the Dominion are coming.
I'm certainly in agreement with that, Carruthers. Would anybody else like to stay here, maybe check something out? I'm thinking about going with Carruthers to the Science Center.
I don't think any one of us should go alone, if nothing else, so we can keep our clocks synced up.
Actually, that's a great idea. Can I see your tricorders, all of you, for a moment, please? And,
sure.
I want to take all of them and sync them up to the same time, all from a start watch.
Okay, so you're syncing it to local ground time.
No, local Carruthers time.
Oh, right, okay.
At least so we can all be on the same frequency here.
Well, he's also doing it to see exactly if everyone spreads out, exactly where time's picking up or acting more closer to normal.
Exactly.
The probes we had at different altitudes in the atmosphere, was there a pattern to those?
Yes, thank you for reminding me about that. Up on the Arcadia, as Carruthers begins to recalibrate all of the tricorders, Hylong sort of turns to you, Captain, and says, Sir, I just lost contact with one of our probes. It just stopped transmitting.
Which probe?
The one above the colony, sir.
Is there a jamming signal?
One moment. And she runs her fingers over the console, presses a few buttons, a few beeps come back at her, and she replies, no jamming signal that I'm detecting, sir, but well, it's strange. It's almost as if the probe literally dissolved. I'm not detecting anything but trace elements of it.
And this was the one closest to the surface?
Yes.
Keep scanning and monitor the constitution of the other probes as well.
Already on it, sir. Should I launch a probe to replace that one?
Proceed.
Alright, so, Arcadia fires off another probe, and it quickly flies and takes the place of the now missing probe. Go ahead.
Was this before or after the Dominion arrived?
Oh, the Dominion haven't arrived yet. Not yet. Still got 2 hours.
Okay.
Alright. So, back down on the surface, Crothers, you have finished syncing everything up to your own local time. And I would say during the process, you realize that, probably expectedly, that all of the tricorders, even though you guys have kind of remained in a tight-knit bunch, there were discrepancies of minutes or perhaps hours in each and every one of them. No one tricorder was the same discrepancy as another.
And we're not having any memory lapses or odd feelings about all of a sudden our machines gaining an hour in time?
Nope. In fact, if you remember, or at least I'm remembering as I'm saying this, I had you all roll to see how many months you had aged, and that's basically the amount of time that you personally, each and every one of you, was off sync.
Interesting. How are my cybernetic components holding up?
This is something we haven't really discussed, so I guess this is as good a time as any. What happens if Crothers doesn't do maintenance on them for an extended period of time?
They typically have their own redundant maintenance check. Anything short of major damage to them, he would have to have operation. But in terms of just taking care of them, it's typically every month he has to go in for reattunement and readjustments of his eye, the cortical implant he has at the base of his skull, and a couple of minor organs.
Alright, so in that case, what I'm going to say is that as you finish the recalibration of the tricorders, you begin to sense a tinge in the back of your skull. And I would say you would know this to be that this is the usual feeling you get when it's about time for your readjustment period. But your last one was not but a couple days ago, so you're definitely not due for a new one.
Lieutenant Klein?
Yes.
I believe what's affecting us is momentary skips in time. We're not being affected consciously, though. If we were, we would be gaining or having long lapses of time of just standing still. It also doesn't seem to be targeting any of our vital organs in terms of sustenance needing. If we had aged months in a matter of moments, we would be starved to death.
I imagine we're still digesting very rotten food right now.
I believe it's unique and might be manufactured. I'm not 100% sure. Natural phenomena like this shouldn't be possible.
GM, during the recap, you mentioned that we had identified it as an external source. Can you remind me how we did that? It's been a while.
Basically, what Bryn did was he asked the kind of questions that I alluded to, like, hey, have you eaten anything new recently? Are you getting your water from anywhere new? Have you done anything differently with your replicator? And thanks to Sterling in chat, the replicators were off sync, and they did have a few discrepancies, but considering it was nothing major, or at least nothing that would obviously cause a 6-month-old to look like a 6-year-old, that was written off. So it was pretty much by process of elimination that you arrived that it had to be something external to the colony.
Okay, thank you.
And Carruthers was using the weather patterns over the last few months to detect erosion and decay.
Mm-hmm.
And it was kind of haphazardly spread, so that's why he's... it was more condensed, though, in the valley, though, wasn't it?
Yep.
So that's why he wants to look at geological surveys now, because he's ruled out the air. He wants to see what's below.
Perhaps we need to check out this valley, too. And then back at the Arcadia, we were scanning for radiation, was it?
Literally everything. Hailong was scanning the entire spectrum for any form of radiation that would be out of the ordinary.
Okay, but wasn't there some kind of... Before we even made contact with the colony, I feel like I remember there being an issue just in the system.
Oh, right. I completely forgot to mention that during the recap. You are completely correct. There was some form of dampening effect in the system. It would be, I would say, equivalent to sitting next to a white noise generator and trying to record silence. You're just going to pick up that white noise. But the
Right.
difference here was you couldn't figure out where that white noise generator was coming from or the type of white noise it was.
Okay.
But yeah, if no one has anything else, we will skip ahead a tiny bit. So Kier Sagan happily takes you all to this large building. Looks like I would say a 6 to 7 story glass tower. Obviously, it's not actual glass. It's whatever the Federation uses. I think it's transparent aluminum, actually. But he leads you inside, and he takes you into a dome-like room. And inside is a setup that's actually very reminiscent of, I believe it's Panthara 4, the one where the TNG episode where the quote-unquote time traveler from the future comes and, you know, looks at things, and Geordi's down below as they fire phasers at the planet. It's a good episode if you've never seen it. But what I'm trying to get at here is that it's all sorts of equipment used to not only record and monitor geologic activity, but also to predict and actively try to use weather control systems and other such environmental, maybe even terraforming equipment to control the planet. And as you walk in, Kier Sagan takes you right up to a very stern-looking woman. She looks to be in her mid-60s, and she is of Asian descent. And he says, party from the Arcadia, I'd like to introduce Miss Yu. Miss Yu, this is... And he introduces each of you in turn. And Yu just kind of looks over you all and finally stops at Ensign Hyde and says, never seen Acacian before. You normally look like that?
Tempted as I am to say nothing or growl at him, I just wave him off. Yes, this is the normal look.
Sorry, idle curiosity. My guess is you're here to see the geologic data.
We are, yes.
Well,
yes.
If you will come over here, and they move over to one of those glass panels that's between two consoles that has sort of a holographic image that's currently being displayed in it, and they tap a few buttons, and a geological survey of the surrounding area of the colony shows up on it. And they say, well, as you can see here, here, and here, the geological stress is accelerating. It's not something that was supposed to happen for, well, frankly, centuries. It's as if something is accelerating the natural tectonic movement of the planet. And as you may or may not know, and she kind of looks over you all appraisingly as if trying to determine if any of you are geologists or have any inklings of such, and finally settles on, this is of course causing earthquakes, volcanoes, things of that nature. Thankfully, this colony had the foresight when it was founded to be built away from any fault lines, but the phenomenon is growing in intensity as time goes on. Please, have a look at the data, and if you can find anything in it, be much appreciated.
Wilhelm will want to look at the data and try to find the earliest instance of instability, and then compare it to the first sign of decay with the colony.
Okay. Why don't you roll me a Reason Science difficulty 2?
Right, and I want to use cautious science.
Okay. So you're spending a momentum then?
Yes. We have so much of it.
Yeah, you are at cap.
Also, the one in charge of it. Let me pull it up there. There we go. Would computers apply?
No, I'm saying this is probably more your natural intuition and pattern recognition.
So no focus then?
Yeah, I'm gonna say no in this instance.
Alright. Yeah. Well, I said I did caution science.
Well, you only rolled 2. You still have to roll 1 more.
Oh, do I?
Didn't you spend a momentum for an extra dice so you could use cautious?
Yeah, I thought the cautious was allowed me to re-roll a 0.
So
Yeah.
in order to use cautious, you have to spend a momentum for an extra dice.
Oh. Alright.
It's also why for bold, you have to spend threat. So, but yeah,
Hey.
with that other success, that's all you need. So,
Excellent.
not only do you confirm everything that you has just said, but you also find that the, I would say, starting time of the phenomena lines up with what you already knew with the weather patterns. It's all coming up to about, I think I said 3 months ago. And if not, we're going to retcon it to 3 months ago because I can't be asked to find if it's actually not 3 months. But it's all lining up. Everything seems to stem from about 3 months ago.
So it's instantaneous. There's no delay from the ground to the colony.
It doesn't appear that way, no.
Hmm.
But something else you're going to notice. There is a volcano not terribly nearby. The name of the volcano is Miranda. And it is quite literally about to blow like Mount St. Helen did on Earth in 1980.
Oh, fun. How soon is it about to blow?
Let me put it this way. If someone looks at it wrong, it could go off.
Alright. Lieutenant Klein,
Yes, Crothers.
we need to evacuate potentially. We're going to have ash fallout. The volcano is ready to erupt.
Okay. Well,
I have
is
one
Governor
idea.
Kearsagon still with us?
He's been lingering, mostly because he's just as curious as the rest of you. And it's not like he has to be anywhere quite yet.
I do have one idea, though. This is from an old show I used to watch as a child.
Shoot.
We could drill on the opposite side of the volcano to let a pressure valve, in essence, let it bleed off away from any potential threat. It may give us a few, maybe days, but... No.
Oh, it's something that could possibly work, but for now, let's work on the immediate problem. Governor Kearsagon,
He
you
starts a little bit and says, yes.
you may want to try and evacuate the village. The volcano near this colony is looking like it's about to blow at any second.
He kind of looks flummoxed at the data you're looking at, and then at you, and you looks over the same data and nods back at him, and he kind of rubs the back of his head and says, right, how many people can your ship hold?
How many people are in this colony?
This one alone has 2,000.
How many people can a sovereign class hold?
Crothers will just raise a hand.
I would be hesitant on bringing anybody on board the ship. We don't know how this is being communicated between people.
We could just spread the contagion to other planets. We need to verify first, yes.
Do we have like Kelvinverse technology where you just neutralize volcanoes?
I would say yes, but there is still a chance that something could go wrong. So obviously there's going to be rolls involved.
Lieutenant,
Yes.
I volunteer to. I know that this is a bit later than we would normally do so, but I volunteer on a mission to deploy the device.
Phew. If you're wanting to do this, I'm not going to stop you, but at least let me try and help you.
Oh, I don't plan on doing it alone. I mean, I will if I have to, sir.
I just want to point out that the Sovereign class can transport 400 personnel per hour, and it has an evac limit of 4,500. We could potentially request a lot of the lower decks, all the personnel from there be moved up, and then quarantined. We would have to be joining them, though.
Doctor, you haven't found any evidence of a viral or contagious method for this affliction, have you?
No, I haven't yet.
And it's affecting structures in addition to people. I don't think quarantine will be an issue for us, but you're the medical professional.
I mean, the fact that I would agree the fact that it's having an effect on structures probably doesn't mean that it's viral. However, I'm still unsure as to how this is being spread. I would hate, I would hate to bring people on board the ship and have it affect not only the people on the ship, but the ship itself as well.
I have another question. Looking at like projections from the eruption, what the valley where the stuff is concentrated, would that be affected by the eruption?
It would.
We may lose all of our evidence if this volcano erupts.
Then I'd suggest we drill down near the volcano, find a large enough chamber that can hold the lava, and then puncture the volcano, kind of like a cyst, and let it bleed into the new location.
Couldn't the Sovereign also, the Arcadia, do a site-to-site transport of all the people here to transport them to maybe a safer location on the planet without bringing them on board the ship?
I feel like we could use the captain's yacht for that. And it would be at least inform us if it was bad, or inform us if the ship itself would be affected.
Time is of the essence here.
Actually, I'm going to look at the geological data and take a look at what locations on the planet are being affected most severely. Northern Hemisphere, Southern Hemisphere.
It is the Northeast Hemisphere. If I had to paint a picture using our current globe, obviously on one side of the globe you would have Asia, China, Japan, etc. And on the other you would more than likely have the United States and Canada and Mexico. You get the idea. The majority of the problems are actually in what appears to be a line. And the line is in a sine wave across the planet. And how do I want to say this without spoiling anything? The sine wave is... It's constant. So that it forms a ribbon around the planet, but that the peaks and valleys of this supposed sine wave keep matching up. Like there's no discrepancy or variation that would cause it to form into an even larger band.
Interesting. So, judging by the way the planet is spinning and orbiting the sun, does that match up? Is there some object in space that's perhaps firing a ray at this planet?
It's a good thought.
The movement of the planet is turning it into a wave?
That's a very good thought. And I was initially going to have you guys roll to figure that out, but it's probably a safe bet.
Engineers' instincts knew it.
Episode over.
Well, no. I mean, you still have to figure out what the object is, where it is,
No, I know.
etc.
We should be able to tell at least what direction it's in. And make sure that the Arcadia is not between it and the planet at any moment.
The probe that we lost, did it go over the sine wave?
It did.
I think we're onto something.
Alright. Lieutenant Klein to Captain DeHaan.
Captain here?
After looking at some of the geographical data, there's a possibility that there may be some kind of object shooting a ray at the planet that may be causing the distortion down here. If you have the time, we may want to run some scans of the area.
I'm receiving your data now. We'll go ahead and chart a vector. Hylong, if you can assist me.
Certainly, sir. And I would like someone to roll for Hylong here, along with someone rolling for the ship. Let's see. Hylong's going to roll a Reason Science, and the ship is going to roll Sensor Science. And after accounting for the lower difficulty of your sensor suite, the overall difficulty will be a 3. Oh, Janus got you guys 2 for the ship. His luck has turned around.
Hey!
Hey.
Even a clock is correct. A broken clock is correct twice a day.
I'd say let's have Brendan roll for Hylong.
Oh shit. Okay.
I also have something to do as Carruthers after this roll's done.
Sure.
Let me find Hylong. Ha! Found it. Okay, what is she rolling?
Reason Science. And she does have a focus.
The focus is plates.
Ooh.
Ooh,
Boy.
so this is interesting. You guys can either pay me 2 momentum, and we'll ignore that complication, or there's going to be a complication.
Give them the 2 momentum. I'm the one in charge here. Give them the 2 momentum.
You don't want to die on your first away mission as commanding officer?
Oh yeah, do it. Fucking kill all of us.
Alright, so good news, no complication. So here's what Hylong finds out. She runs a correlation study between her sensor logs, the planetary logs, and the projected arc of whatever object could be casting this sine wave on the planet. And this runs for, 5-10 minutes. And then she finally reports to the captain, Captain, I believe I have a vector for us. Looks like we're looking at somewhere out near Tovin 6.
I assume that's one of the gas giants?
That is correct, sir.
How far can we pinpoint that down?
Well, now that I am targeting that area directly, sir, I believe I have at least a partial answer to why things on the planet are acting strangely.
Please.
Well, sir, I'm detecting intermediate tachyon bursts, but I'm not really able to figure out what's transmitting them, at least not from this distance.
We have a direction for you.
Yes.
We can start looking.
Let's move the Arcadia into investigate, keeping ourselves outside of the sine waves vector. However, I think we'd like our best pilot for this. Tahan to Janus.
Yes, sir.
I'm gonna recall you back to the Arcadia. We're going to investigate this sine wave. When you're ready for transport, let us know.
Yes, sir. And then I look at Klein and kind of give him a inquisitive nod.
I'll just nod back and say, go. They'll need you.
Okay.
Carruthers to Hylong.
Hylong here.
Could you launch a geological probe towards the valley? Try to bury it as far as you can into the ground. I want to try and get data if this has been a recurring thing or not.
Probe away. We'll have data back on it within the hour.
Excellent. Thank you.
Within the hour. God,
Look,
technology
dude.
is great.
Talk to you. Do you have data on the planet from even before colonization?
We have initial surveys, if that's what you mean.
Yes, soil samples, topographical views, anything you have.
Sure. Right this way. And they begin leading you to another set of consoles. And as you're, shown the data you're after, I'm curious, is Janice going to be the only one transporting up, or is anyone else going as well?
Lieutenant Klein to Captain Tahan.
Captain here.
Would we be able to somehow make room in the ship for 2,000 people?
We can get it done, but it'll take some time. Do we need to evacuate the planet?
We might need to evacuate this entire colony, sir. The volcano's nearby, and I'm not comfortable with leaving 2,000 people here to die.
Nor am I, sir. What do you need?
A section of the ship where they can all be held and possibly quarantined off in case whatever's going on here is viral.
Understood. Ensign Hyde.
Yes.
I'd like you to run the transporter if you can.
I'd have to head back up to the ship.
Unless, of course, you feel you're better used down there.
My only concern is that it would break quarantine by going up there and running the transporter, unless we can clear out that deck.
If you don't mind me interjecting, you have the same problem with Janice.
True. All right, I've done my part down here, I think. We have an idea of what we're dealing with. I don't think it's a viral infection.
Yeah, I tend to agree.
I'll come back up and start manning the transporter. We'll get these people out of there.
And Lieutenant Klein, while I guess we're doing the evacuation. Okay, proceed.
All right. So, Janice and Hyde beam right back up to the ship. Good news, your biofilters don't pick up anything, but then again, the biofilters on a transporter have never been that amazing if you go by the show. But, maybe that's just your GM being a little bit sadistic and telling you that. Who knows? In any event, it is actually about this time as you all begin to do your various tasks to get the colonists ready for transport, or at least immediate evacuation, that Hailong turns in her chair to report, "Sir, the Dominion diplomatic vessel is dropping at a warp, and they're hailing us." And I'm going to cut to the bridge as soon as I find it. There it is.
Keep your trigger finger on the shields.
All right. Should I open channel, sir?
On screen.
All right. So apparently I didn't copy the token over, so we'll just have to use our imagination. On the view screen appears a Vorta, actually two Vorta, and several Jem'Hadar behind them on what is pretty much a typical Jem'Hadar bridge. And the leader, or at least the Vorta that's standing just a step ahead of the other, appears to be a female, and she sort of spreads her arms wide and says, "Ah, the lovely USS Arcadia. I hope you're enjoying this side of the quadrant."
We have for some time now. I understand we're both here to provide humanitarian relief.
Indeed we are. In fact, we are ready to provide whatever assistance that the Tovan colony requires.
Well, should there be anything they require we cannot provide, they will let you know. Arcadia out.
Hailong, of course, closes the channel, and as she does, she looks hesitantly back and says, "Sir, I would quote regs at you, but I think I know what you're going to say in response."
The Dominion doesn't need another foothold in the Alpha Quadrant. Not if I can do anything about it.
Oh, no, I'm in full agreement, sir. Well, call it a hunch, sir. She was hiding something.
Of course, we don't know that they're not responsible for this.
And Hailong just kind of goes, and you see her changing something of her scans and says, well, again, we have to get closer to confirm, but I'm not detecting any Dominion power signatures out near Tovin 6.
We'll keep an eye out.
Right.
Captain to Klein.
Oh, go ahead.
Captain.
The Dominion vessel has just arrived. If we evacuate the colony, the Sovereign's shield, or the Cardia's shield, will be down.
The what shield? I'm sorry, you kind of cut out for a bit.
The Arcadia shield.
We will have to. Yeah, we will have to lower shields to evacuate the colony. Yeah, is there another way to do this?
How many people can the captain's yacht hold?
Oh no, the captain's yacht isn't that big. If I remember the floor plan correctly, if you had everybody standing room only, 40 people, maybe.
Okay. How many Type 9 shuttlecraft do we have on board?
Type 9s? I don't think we've ever really defined how many certain shuttlecraft we've had besides the Roddenberry.
Right.
I think just the rule is we've got a bunch, but the number available to us at any given time is equal to our scale.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. So right now you can field another 5.
We run into the same problem, though.
Yeah.
I think Los will speak up at this point. Lieutenant, perhaps we should use bore into the side of the volcano, like you suggested.
It's an idea, but I want to try and get at least some people out of here, so we can save as many as we can. How many people could we get just in one go and then immediately raising the shields back up?
As someone said earlier, at least if I remember hearing them correctly, if you used every transporter to capacity, you're looking at about 400 people in one go.
400 per hour.
Per hour. Okay, well, there you go.
Okay.
So it would take 5 hours to evacuate the whole colony.
Right. Well,
Dominion's not going to sit by and let us do that.
right. In that case, Captain, ray shields on the Arcadia. We're planning on trying to bore a hole into the side of the volcano and see what happens.
I believe we can do that from orbit.
Fire away.
How long begin calculations?
Sure. And of course, it is about this time that Janice, you arrive back on the bridge to take your station, if you hadn't already. And my next question becomes this. With Sin gone, and Los gone, and Klein gone, who's firing the phasers?
Oh.
Captain Tahan.
Okay.
I will move to the security station.
Alrighty.
I was... Okay.
I hear Janice. I hear like Janice wants to interrupt.
We could have
Janice is a hell of a shooter.
We could have Sorrel come up to the bridge and do it.
That's a good idea. I assume he would have come up like as just part of protocol.
Yeah.
I was hoping to see the Gorn come up and do it. Damn it.
Our nameless Gorn security officer.
His name is Gord.
Lieutenant Klein,
Yes, Crothers.
I just have to review information here now. I know the ship doesn't have Crowley, Sin, and a few others, but if you need to return, you can as well. I will keep you informed.
Well, in that case, I think I should probably head back up to the ship. Lieutenant Klein to Captain, permission to beam on.
Permission granted.
All right. So, I believe that leaves Dr.
Captain?
Bryn in charge of the away team.
All right.
We should have seen this coming. No, undo, rewind.
Oh dear. No, you've made your bed. You're gonna lie in it now. All right. So, Klein, you beam up and you shortly find your way to the bridge. And by then, Hailong has pinpointed what she believes to be the most optimum drill sites. Now, Klein, there's a few ways we can handle this, and I'm gonna let you choose which we go with. The first is that we do an extended task. Now, of course, with all extended tasks, this means there is a time element involved, and that time element could be a problem, could not be a problem. Depends on how you feel about, whatever's transmitting those tachyons and the Dominion. The second option is a bit of a Hail Mary. You would be doing a very high difficulty task, but if you were to complete that task without any complications, you would essentially finish your, task all in one go. Obviously, the benefit of doing an extended task is it's going to be at a lower difficulty and should be easier. So I guess it's just a matter of, do you feel lucky? Do you, Puppet?
Hello?
Hi. Do I need to repeat myself?
Yes, because I roboted out hard on my computer, so I switched.
Fire everything. Fire everything.
Yes. So, a quick rundown. You can either do an extended task at a lower difficulty and taking a little bit of time, or you could roll at a higher difficulty for one single shot, or what is going to be mechanically one single shot, but narratively, spread out.
Doing the extended task, what would the task?
The task would be or at least the rolling part would be the same. This would be a control plus security. And the Arcadia would be assisting with weapons plus security.
I think, unless anybody interjects, I think we're safer off trying to do the extended task. If we fire everything at once, it goes wrong. It could be bad.
It also gives more time to the Dominion to try and play hero, too.
This is also...
They appear to be cooperating for the moment.
You got 3 momentum.
Yeah, let's just go ahead and fire everything.
Alrighty. So you know, this is going to be a difficulty 5 task. But, you've got the 3 momentum. You've got the Arcadia helping you. And you're probably one of the better characters to actually perform this role.
Okay. Controls plus security. Yeah, definitely spending all 3 of that momentum.
Alright, so 3 momentum will buy you 2 extra dice.
4d2.
So it would be 4 overall.
Could I possibly try and do one of my values for 2 successes?
Let me check my notes real fast. Also, yeah, if you can boost yourself somehow, that would be great. If not, I've got you boosted high enough that hopefully the recording can hear you. Let's see. Yeah, my notes say you didn't use your determination yet, so yeah, it's available.
Give me just a second. Let's see if I can... Is there a way to up volume on my phone? I don't know.
Honestly, I've never tried. Let me pull up the Discord app on my phone and see if I can hopefully not disconnect myself, but let's see what happens.
Oh, wait, hold on. See if that's any better. I don't know.
It's a little bit better.
I'm
If
just
you...
lowering sensitivity.
Yeah, I was going to say. Let's see. Yeah, I'm not seeing a boost for input on the phone.
Okay. Well, we'll just work with this for now. and then I'll maybe try and reconnect on the actual computer again and see what happens.
Yeah, when you get a chance. All right, but let's do your roll at least. So what would be your value that you would be spending here?
Possibly I know my ship, like I know the ship's weapon systems, and hence I'll know how to fire it the best way at full capacity.
Okay. Yeah, I'd say that applies. And I'm guessing you're going for 2 automatic successes?
Yep. Oh boy. So I got the successes, but there's a complication.
Yes, and because you've spent the 3 momentum, we're in a bit of a situation here. Mostly because you can't just give me momentum to get rid of that complication.
Since he's attacked, does he get an advantage or like a reroll?
That's a good question. It has been a while, so let's double check.
The security officer, I get the advantage, some advantage where it's like I'm using the ship's security team.
Yeah. Let me see if I can find it real fast.
That is, however, enough successes to win the roll, though.
Oh, it is. It is.
Okay, cool.
Let's see. Did the ship roll? Yeah, the ship hasn't even rolled yet, so we still need to have someone do weapon security for the ship.
We can still get a second complication.
Weapons and security.
Stop that.
Go ahead, Janice. Let's see if your luck holds.
Weapon and security.
Lucky Janice, he is.
I mean, hey, okay, so hey, that's 1 momentum. It's better than the none you had. Let's see. Yeah, I'm looking through the rank and roll section, and the only thing I see is Chief of Security, which means you have the advantage security detachment while on the ship, but that doesn't affect your tactical weapon firing at all, at least not as I'm reading it.
The captain has something too, right?
The captain can spend a point of determination to grant any other character they can communicate with 1 point of determination. And it does not have to be linked to a value.
I would like to do this.
Okay. So, you can grant your point of determination to Klein, which then could be turned to get rid of that complication.
Yeah. Like, I notice him getting very stressful as he's doing this very fine motor skills, and I reassure Lieutenant Klein that he's got this.
All right. So, with the complication gone, Klein, you follow Hailong's directions. You feel a little bit inspired by Tahan's reassurance, and you begin firing. And the phasers begin to bore into the planet's crust. And as they bore, the pressure begins to build behind the beam impact point, but in a good way. Luckily, you are able to not only regulate the power flow, but ensure that as the phasers drill, they are not exerting undue pressure to the volcano itself. As a result, you bore not 1, not 2, not 3, but a total of 5 what I would call pressure valves. And they begin acting as they should, sort of spewing off excess energy and delaying whatever might have happened with the volcano for, well, could be hours, could be days, could be weeks, could be months. All you know is you've bought yourself some time.
I just breathe a very deep sigh of relief. And I'll ping down to be Lieutenant Commander Bren. Lieutenant Klein to Lieutenant Commander Bren.
Bren here.
The situation with the volcano seems to be handled for now, but I'm not sure how much time I bought us.
Understood. That looked impressive from down here. Just letting you know. I think Crothers is actually giggling. Bren out.
Well, thank you.
And it is at that time Hailong reports, Captain, the Dominion is hailing. The Dominion party is hailing again.
On screen.
Alright, so same images before. 2 Vorta, one right ahead of the other, and Jem'Hadar behind them. And This time, the female looks a little bit perplexed, and she says, "Wasn't aware the Federation made it a habit of firing on neutral planets, Captain. Do you care to explain yourself?"
Yes, we just stopped the volcano from decimating the population of the colony. Should we require your assistance any further, we will let you know. Tahan out.
Like, she opens her mouth to reply, and then you go Tahan out, and Hailong actually giggles a little bit. And it's a girlish giggle, too, and she knows it's completely out of line. It's just, oh, sorry, sir. Sorry.
I'll omit that from the log.
That would be much appreciated, sir. And then she kind of leans over to Janice and says, "He got him."
It's that sword. It makes him feel better.
Oh. All right. Well, one crisis averted. The question is, what crisis do you tackle next?
I'll radio down to the doctor.
Mm-hmm.
Doctor, do you have further investigating to do on the planet's surface? If not, I plan to research the source of this disturbance.
I mean, unless Ensign Hyde down here has anything further that she wants to do, I don't believe so.
Hyde beam back up to potentially deal with the transports.
Hyde has actually absolutely nothing to do down here.
I think it's Carruthers and Lowe's.
Yep.
Carruthers, Lowe's, do you two have anything further that you need to do as far as testing?
I wish you'd do a few experiments down the ground here. I should be fine, but I'm fearful that you have early onset of dementia or Alzheimer's. You should go back to the ship.
Well, this is Lowe speaking. I had planned on wanting to check out that valley, but if we believe the source is the sixth planet, then I suppose that might be moot. Either way, I'd be happy to provide security detail for either of you down here.
Is your intention, Captain, to check out what's going on the other planet?
That's correct, but I wasn't going to leave you alone with Dominion in the area unless that was your wish.
I mean, I don't think that we should leave these people alone. If anything, maybe send down a couple more security people, and then we can just stay here and monitor the situation from the ground.
And
agreed, Lieutenant Klein.
To interject, actually, Tara, who has actually been a rather quiet ensign, sort of just doing her job like a good background character would on any episode, but Tara speaks up and she says, "Sir, why not send down a shuttle?"
Who would you put on the shuttle?
Security personnel, extra doctors if Dr. Bryn thinks they're needed.
Understood. Lieutenant Klein, yes.
Could actually Ensign Tara join us on the planet? She has some knowledge with terraforming, and I would like to get her keen eye observing some of this data I want to try out an experimentation on.
Ensign Tara, assemble the team to go with you.
And there's kind of a look of, I would say, pride that comes across her face, because to, I would think, anyone's knowledge, this is the first time she's been given command of anything. So she very eagerly and very excitedly says, "Yes, sir. I will do just that, sir. Right, shuttle bay." And she moves to the turbo lift and begins tapping her comm badge to call certain personnel to meet her there. And she disappears in the turbo lift off of the bridge.
She's smiling. I can feel her smiling.
Let's get someone to take her station, and Ensign Janice, when you're ready, let's head to the sixth planet.
He's the lieutenant. Stop demoting him.
I don't know. Tara's
Vincent?
Tara's coming for you.
I was gonna say, well, sir, when Ensign Janice shows up, I'll let you know. Until then, I'll just sit here and drink my coffee.
Fair enough.
But
I
I
believe
will
you're
go ahead and
so-
set the course because ensigns don't know what the hell they're doing anyways. So I'll go ahead and activate anything I need to roll for that.
No. In fact, because we're not in combat, it's not even a task. So I'm gonna put us on this map. I don't want you to freak out thinking we're going into combat. It's just that I figured it was better to put it on this map in case we actually needed to do combat. The Arcadia sends down a shuttle, and at the same time turns to go investigate Tovin 6. Now, Tovin 6 is a gas giant, not unlike Jupiter, I would say, though it is colored more of a orange than Jupiter is overall. In any event, you do find that it has a small set of rings, not as impressive as Saturn's, but still noticeable. And you stop about there in relation, and I guess it would help if I zoomed out for the stream. You stop about there in relation to the outermost set of rings. And Hailong, of course, already scanning without prompting, and she tilts her head to the side, confused, and mutters, "That can't be right." She scans again. And again. And a fourth time. And then a fifth.
What is the problem, Chief?
Yeah, I'm looking over the shoulder now. What's the issue?
Well, she'll say it as both. I'll say it as both her and out of character. You're seeing an old Federation transponder signal, one from like Kirk days.
This is a Constitution class vessel?
That's hold on. And she taps a few buttons, and on the view screen, you see, nestled between the floating rocks and ice, there is in fact a Constitution class vessel. And now that you see it, Hailong runs a registry check and says, that would be the USS Hamilton, sir, NCC 1145. But that's
Any
not right.
bioscience?
Well, no, sir, but that can't be right. I mean, look. And she motions at a portion of her console. And you see that, according to your computer banks, the Hamilton was decommissioned over 40 years ago.
I'll turn to her and ask, have you ever read the logs of Lieutenant Commander Data?
Not extensively, sir. Any in particular I should maybe be aware of?
He often quotes the stories of a Sherlock Holmes who said, when you've ruled out the possible, look for the impossible for the answer.
Well, frankly, sir, I would call this very impossible. This ship should not be here, yet it is. And I'm pretty damn sure it's the source of the tachyon emissions.
I've got like a suspicious thing. I'm going to head over to my chair console, and do I get any different information based on my security clearance?
Oh, you do. And
oh, no.
Strangely, it is the same level of need to know that the Omega Directive and the... oh, what is it called? I'm having a brain fart. Hold on. The Omega Directive, and what's the other stupid thing? Oh, the Genesis device.
Oh. Hailong, please continue monitoring the situation. Collect as much data with your sensors as you can, and have them piped to my office. I'll be in my ready room. Or
right.
Piped into my ready room.
Of course, sir. And Captain, you step into your ready room, probably preparing to do a little bit of captaining clearance type stuff, and you get a call from someone you personally haven't interacted with, but you have heard from Crowley is in fact cleared and on the ship. And the voice says, Lieutenant Commander Tivna to Captain Tahan.
Yes.
Don't know if this is exactly according to regs, but I figure we're not exactly in a regs situation, so I see that there's a bit of encryption surrounding the whole Hamilton thing. Do you want me to maybe break through it for you?
Well, is there things I don't have access to?
Well, I mean, there's things that not every captain has access to, sure. I don't know if this is one of them, but just eyeballing it here. I mean, I did kind of set up an alert if any sort of level 10 or higher clearances stuff got pinged.
Understood. I'll get back to you if I need that.
Of course, sir. Standing by.
All right. I'd like to know what I get first, and then I'll see what holes are there.
Okay. So you put in your clearance after you've sealed the room, pretty much gone through everything you would need to for either the Omega Directive or the Genesis device type material. And you get a extremely brief readout. According to the report, which is literally maybe a sentence or 2 sentences, the Hamilton was not decommissioned, and it was instead secretly testing a new weapon, but that it went missing, and I have to look at the timeline here to get this right. It went missing shortly after activation of this new weapon. It was believed destroyed, not lost, destroyed. And that's all the log says.
I'll message back to our. What's her designation?
She is technically your full intelligence officer. She is Lieutenant Commander Tivna.
Tivna.
Yes, sir.
I'm coming to your office. I want you to get that information, but I want it moved directly onto a physical data chip and nowhere on our systems. Understood?
Certainly, sir. Would you like the pad to self-destruct? Because I can do that too.
I can do that. Oh, maybe after I read it. I'm on my way.
Very good. And normally I'd switch us maps, but I'm just now realizing how far many maps I would have to go in the mid-time, so let's just pretend to use our imagination. Alright. So,
my favorite map.
Yes, the literally best map I have in here whatsoever. So, Captain, as you head down to, I don't know, Crowley, what are we calling it? The Intel Lab, the Brouhaha. What are we calling this thing at this point?
I thought it was the Intel room.
Okay, the Intel room. All right, so there's the Captain. Where's Tivna? There's Tivna. You, of course, have to put in your clearance to gain access to the room, and inside, at seemingly her console, like she's attached to it, is Lieutenant Commander Tivna. And she doesn't even look at you as you walk in. She just kind of, without turning to you fully, she just kind of extends a hand over her shoulder, and in it is a pad. And she says, "Everything you asked for, sir."
Thank you, Commander. I'm just going to start pouring, like, I don't even look her in the eyes. I take the pad and just am immediately scouring it.
Okay. Well, I'm going to give you a handout in Roll20. Neat. You may choose to share this with others, but as you requested, you are the only one who is seeing this at the moment. And I'm not even going to show it to the stream because it is that secretive.
Ooh.
Nice.
Well, I'm going to read them out loud. If you want, you can throw it on the stream.
Okay. In that case, if you're going to read it aloud, I will show to everybody.
All right.
Well, that shows to you. Let me actually show it to everyone.
Ooh.
There we go. All right, everybody should see it now.
Captain's log, stardate 1425.7. Having arrived in the Carina system, we are ready to begin testing of the Tachyon weapon. Mr. Spruill, the weapon designer, and our chief engineer, Lieutenant Mattis, have assured me that all indications point to a positive and successful test. Mr. Spruill claims that the weapon will harness directed tachyon bursts to degrade any structure, artificially aging it, and thus disabling any potential threat. Captain's log, stardate 1426.6. Despite the best efforts of Chief Engineer Mattis, the tachyon weapon is drawing ever-increasing power from our engines. The process appears irreversible. All efforts to stop or contain the weapon have failed. My first officer has suggested that we attempt to destroy the device, but Mr. Spruill is convinced that damage to the device could cause a simultaneous core breach and explosion of tachyons so powerful that the entire Carina system could be destroyed. Captain's log, stardate 1426.8. The device has drained so much energy from the ship that we no longer have impulse power, and life support is beginning to fail. Reports are coming in from all ship's departments of structural failures in the ship's bulkheads and superstructure. All attempts to regain control of the device have failed. Antimatter containment is beginning to fail, and I have ordered a general evacuation. Captain's log, stardate 1426.8. Supplemental. Captain Shan's logs has no commentary. Instead, you see images of the Hamilton disappearing in a brilliant flash of light.
Mm-hmm.
This all happened within a day.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe a little more. And I think it'd be, unless something needs to happen, I think we could cut to a senior staff meeting directly after my senior staff has read all of this.
Okay. Tell you what, because this is both a good time to pause and it is sort of a momentous info dump drop, let's take our break here. And I'm actually going to attempt playing a little bit of music. We'll see if I get dinged for copyright, and YouTube or Twitch, if this is where the recording cuts off, sorry. But yeah, if you all could be back no later than, let's say 4:35, so 10 minutes from now, more or less.
Okie doke.
How horrifying.
Yeah.
So who wants to evacuate the colony, detonate the weapon while the Dominion's still in here?
I certainly wouldn't be opposed to it, but we'd also just paint a huge target on our backs.
That seems short-sighted anyways. If we get all the Dominion here, then sure. I just heard a ringtone? Hello?
Talking about some war crimes.
No, because you see what we're going to do is we're going to warn them. We're going to send them a message saying, hey, this entire system is dangerous. You should leave. And then they won't fucking believe us, obviously. And they get themselves killed because of it. It's totally not a war crime.
That has happened to a lot of the people that have ignored my threats. Sorry, my warnings. They weren't even threats.
They were promises.
No! Like, one of them was an exploding station. I told them to turn around.
This is also true.
What rank
That
is
was a
Klein?
while ago. I'm sorry?
What rank are you, Klein? Lieutenant?
Lieutenant junior grade.
I think that was my first rank after graduation.
You can't even be a first officer, can you?
No.
Okay.
I was a lieutenant commander with my last character. I want to play a lower rank, sure.
Toss into command. Here you go. Have fun with the mission.
Yeah, basically.
And everyone's mostly alive so far. Man, I would have laughed if you had detonated the volcano. I was like, well, Crothers is gone.
Bryn's gone, Hyde's gone, all the people in the colony are gone. Los, wait, no, Hyde wasn't there. Los would be gone.
Yeah, Los would be long gone.
I mean,
he would be lost.
His fate is sealed anyways. Mirror Hylong's after him. He's not long for this world.
I mean, it would be the first time I was happy I got sent the ship.
Hey, you get to, no, you're not under Roddenberry. Nope. Yeah, find more things for you to do.
For who to do?
For Janice.
Pilots are very well rounded. They can do lots of stuff.
Well, I My freaking security is like my second highest.
Same.
Let's go look at Crowley. I forgot Crowley wasn't in part of this.
I think I have like 4s in like security, engineering, and I think like. Oh wait, no.
I was gonna say,
Security and
how, how do you have that many 4s? I want that character.
Yeah. I could get 2 4s if I got another arc milestone, but I don't really want that busted of a character.
I got 5 in command, 5 in security, 4 in con, and then 1 in medicine and science and engineering.
Oh, you were very min-maxed.
No, if I was min-maxed, Klein would have been done. Min-maxed Crowley would have had mean right hook, tough, and I think nerve pinch too.
Wait, so what were your 4s in again? Security and con?
No. Command and security are both 5.
Oh, you're a monster.
Yeah. Min-max. I was actually. We looked at the new operations book. Victus would be deadly. He has the Borg weapon that gets him vicious. He had mean right hook that gave him, I think, another thing too. And then extra effect, I believe. And then with the new operations book, if we ever see Victus again, he's gonna have the martial arts thing where I think it gives another vicious. He is a +2 vicious, just as unarmed. It's terrifying. That got really quiet.
I'm sorry.
No, for a second I thought I disconnected.
Nope.
Sorry I called you Ensign.
Where's Klein?
As long as I get my paycheck. Oh wait.
Oh, there you are,
So
Klein.
muddy in the 24th century.
Whoa.
Uh,
Now Discord decided to cut out on me from my computer, so that's a fun time.
You got quiet again.
Yeah, that's because I'm using a headset on my phone, so not really too much I can do about it.
Oh, this is a good time for you to figure out how to adjust the volume output.
Yeah, the only thing I can find is like
Let me check.
lowering the sensitivity, but it's the only thing I can find.
I got Discord on my phone.
I'm back. No, I mean, I looked at Discord on my phone earlier. You can adjust the sensitivity, but that's it. There's no way to boost the input.
Oh.
Oh, darn. Maybe
I
I
thought-
turn off noise suppression. I don't know. Let's see if... Okay, of course, Discord on my computer decided to
Big channel.
Alright, well...
Oh, hey, I hear little sounds. I guess that's my music. Nice.
yes.
I thought I was just having a stroke.
They were,
Sorry, that's not funny.
I mean, little column A, little column B. You could very well be having a stroke and still be playing. Who knows?
Burnt toast.
Connect to voice.
I'm not sure if that helps, but...
You might just have to chew your microphone for a little bit.
Alright, well... It's gonna be... I think I have
Oh, yeah, there is. You go to the settings when you tap on your name.
Okay.
Let me go back here. So we're gonna tap your name. Go to settings. Video and voice.
Yep.
There should be. That's output. I'm looking for input. Never mind.
Yeah, I was gonna
There was
say.
a way I remember doing this. I had this issue once before.
I put it on call mode to see if that would help, but I don't think it does.
I mean, you're a tiny bit louder, but
Yeah, but I'm also like holding my mic right up to my mouth.
true.
But
Oh, well, there's a jet. Hold on.
I put it back in communication mode. I don't know if that helps, but... Let's see if there's any.
Automatic game control. Have you tried disabling that?
Yep. But then it doesn't give me any options.
Yeah.
I'm gonna see what happens if I just mess around with it on an iPad since I'm on my phone right now.
All right. Well, we are coming back from our break, so I guess keep working on it, Klein. May kill the little ambient noises. Is everyone else back though? Because if not, I can wait a few more minutes.
I didn't leave. You...
Carruthers is here.
Okay.
Let me try.
Porthos and I are ready.
Oh God.
On my
He got
iPad.
beamed into space, didn't he?
What?
Porthos? No.
No, the
No,
dog.
in the Kelvin timeline, he did.
What?
He got they mentioned Archer's dog, Admiral Archer's dog, got beamed into space. It was that's why Scotty got sent to that planet.
This is why I don't really follow the Kelvin.
Yeah, they killed Porthos.
Oh my God.
Oh.
I'm so glad JJ is destroying Star Wars.
Like, I get that the people live for a long time in Star Trek, but the dogs do. I guess veterinary science also improves.
Hello.
Oh God, hi.
Hey.
Oh, is it really loud now?
Well, we're also picking up your breathing, but yes.
No. Well, let me.
Sorry, I'm back.
No, you're
It
fine.
lets us know that you're alive.
Yes, we are able to hear you at least. That's something.
Am I late?
No, I mean we're letting Klein work out a few quick tech issues.
Okay. I was trying to hurry and make a sandwich because they haven't eaten lunch yet.
You know, sandwich does sound mighty good.
So GM,
Uh-huh.
if Victus ever shows back up, he's gonna have a Vicious too.
Really? Oh, because of the new talents.
Yeah. Yep. That's terrifying. With an unarmed.
Yup.
So you guys better not piss off the Borg in the alternate universe. Although I do look forward to Halloween now.
Oh God. Yeah, I'll have to figure out something. Well, let me count days here.
It's-
Let's see.
6 weeks.
Let's see. The closest would be for us. Oh, hello. Hi. Yeah.
The Dominion is jamming our signals.
Yes, the Dominion has tapped into our comms. All right.
That'll be the 28th or the 4th.
Yeah.
28th is the closest, though. Hey, Klein, can you hear us?
Yeah. Can you hear us, Klein?
Nope, he is distorted.
I'm just gonna server mute him for a moment. That way we are not getting our eardrums blown out there. Guess I should tell him to let us know when you're back on your phone or computer. Current setup is blowing eardrums out. Okay. Of course he's talking and now we can't hear him. You'll have to type.
I like to think Brent's asking that just because he's an old doctor.
God damn it.
You confused a middle-aged man for a a feline female.
Yeah.
I know, I forgot that she'd gone back up to the ship.
I mean, you know, Caitians, they're sneaky. Okay, well, I'm going to tentatively unmute Klein for the time being. Hopefully nothing.
Hello?
Yes, hi. There we go.
You'll have to deal with quiet me, but
No, you're actually at a good level.
that's weird because I just transferred back to my phone. But cool.
I don't ask questions as long as it works. All right, well, let's get the senior
Yeah.
staff running. So let's get rid of the BRB on the screen. Okay, so where was I? So all of you have returned from the planet. I mean, obviously, you've left some sort of security detail down there on Tovin 3, unless you decided otherwise. And you're all now having a senior staff meeting, which might help if I put us on the right map. So yeah, you're having a senior staff meeting, including Crothers. And Tivna is actually there as intelligence officer, not only to make sure that the weight of the logs that you've just read, all of you have just either read or had dictated to you, but to also ensure that no further breach of protocol happens, or so she claims, but all of you, as she says this, would be able to tell she's full of shit. She's just here for fun.
You want to get out of her hole, huh?
Yeah, you know, she's got to leave every once in a while, come up for air.
That room was starting to smell.
Well, she is an Orion. Nah, I won't go there.
Wow.
So, yeah, Captain, it is your meeting. I'm going to let you run it.
So, as you're no doubt aware, we need to stop the Hamilton from producing this tachyon effect that is ravaging the system. Although it does appear that that is easier said than done. I rely on my science and engineering teams to propose an idea short of destroying the Hamilton.
We could attempt an inverse tachyon pulse. We could carpet the Hamilton in that. It should stop the spread of any new tachyons it's emitting. And we could then potentially push it out of the system. Once it's out of the system, we can then destroy it. But there is also the chance that the device is time-based sensitive. If we're able to shut it down, or get it to stop doing what it's doing, there's a chance we could restore the crew. It's think of it like a save point in a file. You can restore back to a previous point. I don't know if it'll bring them back to their time or if it'll bring them to ours.
That implicates the temporal prime directive. Hailong, you've studied these scans more than anyone else. How does that ring to you?
Hailong was totally here and not on the bridge. She says, I mean, Carruthers does have an idea, I'll give him that, but, I mean, based on the log I just read, I don't think it's going to be that simple to shut whatever the hell the Hamilton has going on down.
Oh, and the crew evacuated, so they're not there anymore.
Yeah, the crew was gone.
Are those logs that we were given, are those the only logs that you were able to recover? Meaning, is there any sort of, do we have any sort of record, the things that the crew of the Hamilton tried to shut this thing down so that we can rule those out?
Tivna answers your question very perkily, and she says, yeah, that's, even with my skills, that's all that's in our banks. I mean, of course, we could attempt to call back to Starfleet HQ, and I could try to work my magic there, but, you know, that might, I feel like we're already going to get an investigation here from the Department of Temporal Investigations, so maybe not.
There was an incident with the Enterprise, I believe. Their engineering was able to devise a armband through the emergency transport armbands, personalized force fields that would lock your own time bubble around you. This would protect us if we were to beam aboard the ship. Theoretically, I volunteer.
Do we not have the command
I
codes?
volunteer credits as well.
Do we not have the remote command codes to try to shut down the engines to drop power to it?
From everything we know, the crew of the Hamilton was unable to shut down their own engines.
At least turn off the shields. We could remove the engines surgically with weapons.
My question then is, does an explosion help us, or does it exacerbate this problem even further?
My question would be, is this coming from the central point in the ship, or is this coming from the deflector dish? Do we have any kind of technical specs as to where this is generating from?
I believe it's coming from the weapon, the prototype weapon. And I believe the explosion would be enough to destroy the system. Given the logs.
That's why I'm not in command. I'd shoot it.
GM, question.
I might have an answer.
Considering if this was a prototype weapon, would this fall under an experimental technology focus?
It would, yes.
Captain, I could possibly, if what Crothers says is correct, I could possibly beam over onto the ship and try to shut it down.
Crothers has just held up a hand with 4 fingers so far.
I agree. We need to send over an away team. Lieutenant Klein, I'd like you to go. Janice, I think they're going to need Can we transport onto the ship, or do we need to shuttle over?
Yeah, that's actually like Kylong was kind of like raising her hand, waiting for a chance to cut in, and like, sir, I am familiar with the armband Crothers has suggested. I mean, obviously Ensign Hyde would be probably better at this, but I could maybe get you over there, but there's no real way of pulling you out short of shuttlecraft. Even if the weapon is shut down, there's just way too much ambient radiation.
All right,
if it comes down to it, it might be a risk we have to take.
Okay, then my next question would be, if we can't turn the engine off with the codes, can we at least get the codes to open the shuttle bay?
Tivna actually just kind of motions, or just kind of swipes across her pad, and suddenly all your pads now have the access codes for the whole ship. And she says, go crazy, kids.
Well, I'm glad she's on our side.
Something else to mention is that the effect of the tachyon radiation on the planet was very narrow, so there must be a beam that's being emitted. If we can just aim it away from the planet, that would solve the issue.
Maybe aim it back towards the gas giant.
That would work.
Yes, but then 2 years from now, when the ship is reoriented, we'll have to send another team, and this is something I'd rather have disposed of. The Federation tampering with experimental weapons isn't something I want to have visitors for.
If we manage to aim the beam away, we will at least buy the colony some time.
I agree with that.
But it's better taking care of it now than leaving it for a couple of years and coming back to realign the beam again. We should shut it down so we don't have to worry about it.
Of course, I'm merely suggesting that we can buy ourselves a few hours or days with this. We don't know how long until that volcano will blow.
23rd century engineers were good, but they couldn't turn rocks into replicators like Ensign Hyde can. I think we can solve this issue. It's a phrase. Klein, Janice, Hyde, I'd like the three of you to lead the away mission. Take anyone with you that you need. But one way or another, we're going to stop this tachyon radiation.
And right as you give that order, Captain, your yeoman, which, have we ever named your yeoman? Have we given them even a title?
Well, the title's yeoman.
Well, you know what I mean, like...
No, I don't think we have.
Alright, you want to give him a name? Because if
actually,
not, I'm just going to make it up.
If I may, unless this has already been established. Ensign Jensen?
Well,
we
it's
broke
now true. Jensen says, Jensen to Captain. Oh, excuse me, sir. I'm feeling a little lightheaded.
Yes.
The Dominion ship has started headed our way, and it's hailing us again. Should I pipe it through to you?
Yellow alert! Everyone to their station.
Is Dr. Brennan there?
Nope. I'm not here.
Thank you, Ensign. I turned the comm off. All right, everyone to your station.
All right, so all of you filter out to your stations on the bridge. Let's see, Hylong was here, Janice was here. Captain's, of course, in his chair. Klein, you're at tactical. Hyde, you're over here at engineering. Carruthers, you're over at science, I would assume. Tibna's going to take up tactical number 2. Bryn, are you going to sneak out of here so that Jensen doesn't see you? Or are you going to just hide in here?
I'll probably head back to sickbay. Is there a place, like, if I do decide to come onto the bridge for me to hang out?
Oh yeah, you could certainly hang out. There is multiple stations in the back, or hell, even the chair to the captain's left.
Chief Hylong.
Yeah, I'll sit on the bridge.
Okay.
So I'll say we don't need that damn counselor's chair.
Well,
Have they hailed us yet?
Oh yeah, they have. They are currently waiting to see if you will reply.
What's their distance?
They are closing, sir. The time to intercept is approximately 1 minute.
Chief.
Captain?
All this tachyon radiation sure does jam our transmissions, doesn't it?
Oh, yeah, of course, Captain. She winks, but still kind of looks a little bit hesitant.
Go ahead, jam our comms.
All right. So she throws up a smoke screen, and you know the hail just continues.
They're still getting through.
Yeah, seems that way, sir. Sorry.
All right. Put them on screen, but I want lots of interference.
While that's happening, Carruthers is immediately tossing out ionization radiation around the asteroids and everything.
Okay. I'm assuming to either throw off or mask the presence of the Hamilton?
Yes.
Okay. Good thing we were of the same mind. All right. So, as you do all that, on the screen, thanks to a little bit of Hylong and Tivna, though Tivna's part is, you know, if someone actually looks at the logs later, you'll discover she's helping. But in any case, it is a very, very garbled transmission. It's kind of a, well, those of you 70s and 80s folks, if you remember, you know, old rabbit ears on the TV and how you could maybe get like a cable signal every once in a while, but it was all wavy and the colors were wrong and, you know, problems that these modern kids don't have. Also, they should get off my lawn, but that's beside the case. That's basically the kind of image you're seeing. But strangely, at least to you, the audio is clear, so you can hear them just fine. But Hylong's sort of motions that they should be receiving a garbled version of you. And again, it's the Vorta. This time, the leader, she looks just a little bit annoyed. She's standing in a bit more of a, I would call it a power stance. Before she was very relaxed, very open, but now she's kind of holding herself very stiffly. Her arms are kind of crossed across her chest. And something very crucial that was lacking before, if you all remember from DS9, the sort of eyepiece that goes over one of their eyes, one of those is currently active. And she says, Arcadia, this is the Dominion delegation. You will explain your presence here in the asteroid belt, otherwise we shall be reporting what we seem to be picking up as the Arcadia transmitting tachyon interference back towards the planet.
Dominion vessel, it is our belief that the tachyon radiation can be redirected away from the planet. You may assist us by deflecting further tachyon radiation this direction. Your current position would be ideal, although I recommend 14 degrees to your port side at a distance of 5,000 kilometers.
Captain, I'd like you to roll me a 1d100.
Oh no.
Did he just tell him to go into the sine wave?
Probably.
So, remember how I said that it was clear for you, but Hailong said it was garbled to them? About 35% of your message gets through. And the Vorta kind of seems taken aback, and she says, I'm not deflecting. What are you on about, Captain? It's something about a wave? What is going on over there? And she starts yelling at a Jem'Hadar to start scanning the area.
Anything we can do to increase this, actually, Janice.
Yes,
Klein,
sir.
Yes.
Send your teams immediately. We'll give you cover from the Dominion ship.
Are we taking
Of course.
something with some serious deflective capability?
Just a small away team.
Right, sir. Am I taking a larger ship than just a runabout?
Oh, just a standard shuttle.
Okay. You're the boss.
This is going to be interesting. How do I want to do this on the map? Okay.
Our strength with the arm bands.
Let me put us on this map, at least so you guys can see where you are, where the Dominion ship is. Let's see. You guys would be here at this point. The Dominion ship would be right about there. And I'll zoom out for those of you on the stream in a moment. Alright, there we go. So that's about the relative locations of everybody. Just so you know, unless you either clear up your own signal and attempt a bit of diplomacy, or otherwise make your intentions known to the Dominion, it's probably likely they're going to start firing on you and any shuttles you send out. Kind of a GM hint to maybe wait to send Janice out into the void, unless you want Janice to go poof.
I was about to send a message to the captain.
All right.
Sir, this is Lieutenant Janice. When we launch the shuttle, could you turn the ship so it's facing the Jem'Hadar or the battlecruiser, and then shadow us and cover our entry into the asteroid field at least?
That was my intention originally, but it sounds like from the GM that that's not going to work. Is that right?
Let's just say the GM will say that it could work, but it's at probably a higher difficulty than trying to talk your way out of things.
You can certainly try.
All right. So, Hailong.
Yes, sir.
What kind of confined beam should we send to the Jem'Hadar to make them think we're cutting through this interference?
Energy.
The blank energy beam? Oh, you mean like a phaser?
Hold on. Where is it? All right, there's the operations book.
That's not what I'm...
Hold on. No, we're going to use this damn chart. It got released. We're going to use this freaking chart.
Oh, yeah.
All right, now I just got to remember what page it's on. Let's see. If anyone knows the page offhand, that would be great. Let's see. Ah, here we go. Hailong says, I could reconfigure the primary thermal polarizing regulator, and that might give us a type of beam that could mask our signal.
Just make sure to polarize it and that we get the oscillation right.
But that would invert the polynodal... You know what, sir? I'll handle it. And
all right.
she
but if we can, let's use a fractal encryption.
Tivna says, sir, that's not even a... Yes, sir. And Tivna...
I turn over and, like, I've got a huge stupid grin right now. This Vorta is too fun to mess with. All right.
I imagine Dr. Brand is just like blank face, just staring at everybody like, what the hell are you guys talking about?
This is the bridge of the Arcadia. We have fun here. So yeah, the beam is set up, and magically the signal clears for everyone on both ends. And the Vorta, still looking a little pissed, says, "So, you want to explain what's going on, Captain? Or shall we simply devolve into primitive rock throwing?"
Well, if that's your first instinct, no. I believe we were just able to clear through this interference. We've determined that the tachyon radiation has come from this belt, and we are deflecting the tachyon sources back at it to protect the planet. It would be a great aid to us if you could assist us in deflecting this radiation back towards its source.
Roll me
Oh no.
presence plus command. Difficulty 4. And remember, you do have 1 momentum.
Right. I've also got diffuse the tension, and she
You
did
do.
mention. Can that apply?
That will apply.
All right. I don't have enough momentum to add a second die to that, or a fourth die to that, though.
Nope, just the 3rd.
Okay. And what's the difficulty?
Base was 4, but I believe diffuse the tension reduces it by 1, yeah?
And it gives me an extra die.
Oh. Well,
Oh, yeah, that's
so you are rolling 4 die, and...
I'm rolling 4?
Well, I thought you were spending also the momentum. Oh, no, wait, you can't, because the additional
It would need to be
extra...
2 momentum.
It would need to be 2. You're right.
Could I do 1 momentum, 1 threat?
You could indeed.
Yeah, let's roll 4 dice.
Okay.
And diplomacy is a focus?
Diplomacy is a focus, and I'm going to be a dick. 16 to 20 complication range.
That seems reasonable. Okay.
Well, I see 1 green. Alright, I see 3 successes. Not quite the 4 you need. And unless I've completely misconstrued the last 2 hours, you gave your determination to 1 Klein to otherwise prevent some bad things.
That's right. And in all good faith, the 2 that were not successes were 17s. So those are both complications.
Ooh, double complications. Well, let me double check some things here, because this could matter tremendously. Do you have veteran?
No, I do not.
So you're an experienced officer then?
That's right.
Okay. Yeah, because if you were veteran, you could have tried to get your determination back.
Yeah.
Let's see what else we can do here, because, yeah, you're right, that's 2 complications, which means you'd have to give me 4 momentum or 3 threat, but I think I'd like the complications instead of the threat.
You're the game master.
Oh, let's see, what can we do? Not that I would not have fun with 2 complications, but I do want to be fair as much as I can. Do you have a value you could challenge?
Oh, yeah, I probably do. Let's see. I think I'm challenging right now. Never do what you know is wrong. I am lying to a foreign government agent.
All right. I'll let it happen. So cross it out. And at the end of the session, remember, you're going to have to replace it with an entirely new value. Preferably one that, reflects this challenging, but I'm not going to hold you to it so much. So I'm letting you change it on good faith.
All right, so I'm going to re-roll the 2 non-successes.
Alrighty. let's see. All right, so that's still going to be a complication, but you did get the requisite amount of successes.
Okay, I can handle that.
Alrighty. So here's how it happens narratively. You say all this. The Vorta seems to contemplate your words. And she cuts audio for a second, so you see her talking to someone off screen. And then audio resumes, and she says, "We are detecting a buildup of neutrino gradients in your general area. Do you have an explanation for this?"
Let me see. I turn over to Hylong, and it's up to her to explain it.
Hylong, very quickly, even though the GM is not being quick about it, very quickly says, right. Well, you see, as we deflect the tachyon reciprocating discriminator, and Hylong looks to Tivna, and Tivna thankfully speaks up and says, we are using a fractal encryption code to better realign our deflector array to reflect the tachyons. And
Carruthers is shaking off screen.
Hold on, Jet.
No, that's the sound of Carruthers just...
It's the son of the Vorta firing.
Yeah, that is the sound of the Vorta firing. Everyone dies. Roll new characters. No.
Awesome.
I would like someone to open Tivna's sheet, and I would like someone to roll me Tivna's either presence plus command or presence plus con. I'm gonna make the difficulty for her a 3. And does she have a focus? Did I give her a good one? That's a good question. Let's take a look. No, she does not have a focus.
Somebody rolling that?
Presence plus con?
Presence plus con or presence plus command. I'll give you either, even though it should probably be presence plus con.
I would love to. I would love to see a quick cut to Crowley just sitting on the shuttle, with elevator music playing in the background.
All right.
That's him and Sin playing Pinochle.
Yeah. So I will be nice, and I will say that since the momentum was not spent on Tahan's... Oh, no, it was spent on Tahan's task. You have 2 of 3 successes you need. So do you want to add maybe a dice with threat? Or...
The ship helping with this BS.
Yeah.
Because apparently we're saying the ship's doing something.
Yes.
Janice, do you want to roll for the ship?
Okay. What do we want me to roll?
That's a good question. Let's have the ship roll a...
Let's see here.
Sensors... No, let's make it engines plus command. I know that's a weird combination, and probably isn't what it's supposed to be used for, but sounds good to me.
Come on, Janice.
Oh! And the crowd goes boo.
Yeah. So, unless anyone wants to start throwing determination around.
Nah, we've been had.
Okay. So, because I do find it funny, we cut momentarily back to the Roddenberry, and it's just Sin and Crowley sitting at the table in the back, and they're playing gin, and Sin just lays her cards down and says, "Gin, that's 7 games in a row, Commander. I'm trying to be nice about this, but I don't think this is your game."
No, I don't think it is.
You ever wonder what the Arcadia does when we're not there?
I think they're fine.
We cut back to the Arcadia.
we get blown up.
Everything's on fire.
We cut back to the Arcadia, and
We're the dog. This is fine.
The Vorta is in a tirade. We're just going to join that tirade halfway through. And she says, "I knew from the moment we heard about this problem it was the Federation causing it. Well, I will make it known that not only were you the cause of this, that we destroy you and eliminate this problem." And I think we all know what's coming. It's time for ship combat.
God. Dang it.
Just out of curiosity. How far am I?
Well, you have not launched from the bay yet.
Sack of crap.
You're one minor action away.
You are one minor action away.
Brother is going to have a chat filter that he can engage when someone's on the view screen, getting really angry. It just turns him into Daffy Duck.
Oh god, we're getting a little too silly, but I'll let it happen. Let's see. Give me 1 second, because apparently Past Me did not put in the stats for the Jem'Hadar vessel properly, so I need to do a quick macro check.
So it's the equivalent to a shuttle.
No.
Oh, me and Janice get into a shuttle and go. Everybody else dies.
Where is it? There it is. All right. So it is same scale as you. All right.
And the old man put us in a freaking standard shuttle.
Okay. Let's see if I can make it a little bit easier for stream to see what's going on. There we go. Okay. I think that's probably about as best we're going to get for the stream. All right. Well, good news. Even though combat's broken out, it is your guys' turn first. So, which one of you would like to act first?
Just out of curiosity, GM, before we... so, is there alarms going off on the ship right now?
I would think the sound, or not the sound, the instant the Jem'Hadar started powering weapons, Klein or someone on the bridge probably had the foresight to hit the red button.
Okay, well then I'm making a command decision, and I am not going to a standard shuttle. I'm going to the only ship we have left that probably has some decent shields that I can get off the Arcadia with.
Oh, sorry. I'm going to call you back to the bridge.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I mean, you could ignore those orders and go to the captain's yacht anyway, but...
No, I was just... I wasn't trying to interrupt them in a combat situation, but if he's called me back, well, I guess I can't do much about it then. Okay.
I'm going to take my post in the sick bay.
Okay. Well, let me narrow it down, because obviously minors can be spent to move about the ship, but who is actually doing their main action now?
I think I'd want Tactical to go ahead and modulate shields. They haven't... have they fired yet?
No, they are powering weapons, though.
Yeah, I like modulating shields.
Okay.
So let me quickly pull up those rules. I know it's been a while since we've actually done Starship Combat, so apologies if it takes us a little bit. All right, let's see. Requires empowerment of 1. Tactical officer attempts a control plus security assisted by the ship's structure plus engineering with a difficulty of 2. If successful, the ship's resistance is increased by +1, plus 1 additional 1 per momentum spent, repeatable. And this lasts until the next time the ship suffers 1 or more damage after resistance.
Ooh, okay. So given those rules, I think I want to do it slightly different.
Okay.
Klein, do you have quick to action?
I do not.
Does
Sin
Janice?
Sin was the one who had it.
Oh no. None of us do?
To my knowledge, no.
I don't think I do either.
I think
Okay.
Sally did.
God. The one time we need this talent, the people who have it are gone.
Oh no, I switched it out a while ago. Yeah, that's what it was.
Okay, that's fine. Well, just my first... Okay, I'll do... Because I think we're going to need some momentum to really ramp up the... Or I guess we can spend threat on it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Don't you have rally?
Yeah, I was thinking of doing rally this turn. Yeah, I'll go ahead and do a rally task.
Okay. So, that is a presence plus command at a difficulty of 0. And that will be your command action for this round.
Alright, I will use 1 threat to add a 3rd die.
Okay.
And I was in team dynamics as a focus for rallying people.
Sure.
Awesome. Come all whammies, all whammies. 2 success.
I mean, hey, that's 2 momentum. It's 2 more you didn't have.
Yep.
All right. So, tell me a little bit about this rallying. Is it a rousing speech?
So the Dominion War has started, right?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Guys, we've got the Dominion right where they want them, right where we want them. They may have gotten Deep Space Nine, but we've already taken out their weapons factories, and they've never gone against a ship like the Arcadia. Let's show them what we're made of.
Very nice.
The war's not going badly yet.
Yet, keyword here. All right, so that's the Arcadia's turn. Up next is the lovely Dominion ship, and let me just double check some ranges. Yep, you're within medium range. So, the Dominion ship is actually just going to fire on you straight off. And hopefully I did this properly, and if not, I'm going to have to roll this manually. Where is it? There it is. Boop. Let me check rolls. Yep, it's rolling what it should. So, bad news. They not only got what they needed, but they did so with no issue whatsoever. So they are going to hit you. Let's see. Their array does that much piercing too. Oh boy.
Yeah.
Well, good news. That is 7 piercing 2. Or not 7, 5 piercing 2. So you guys have a resistance of 6. That goes down to 4. 5. So you take all of 1 point of damage to your shields as the phased Polaron beam array of the Jem'Hadar vessel fires across you, and your shields actually hold up pretty well. And that's the Jem'Hadar's turn. Up next, it is your guys' turn.
Are we still going with modulate shields, or what are we doing?
I will entertain better offers, but that's my first.
Well, do we want to do evasive maneuvers and make us more difficult to hit, or
also
do
makes
we want
it
close
harder to
distance
shoot.
on them?
I actually like our current distance of medium range.
Okay.
Although I do like evasive action. All right, I've got a plan. Let's modulate shields now,
Okay.
and then I want an attack pattern.
Okay.
All right. So that'll be control security from me.
Correct. And the ship is assisting with structure engineering. And the difficulty is a 2.
No, I don't have a focus. Unless computers would apply, but I think it wasn't correct.
No, it would literally be the ship's computers in play if it was.
Okay, gotcha.
Who's rolling for the ship, by the way?
Oh, I can roll for the ship. What do we? I'm sorry, I was
No, you're
filling out
fine.
my character sheet. What
Structure engineering.
Structure.
How many
engineering.
successes did I give? Because for some reason Roll20 is lagging on me.
Your
it
roll
showed.
hasn't shown up for me yet.
Huh.
I
One
see
from the ship.
Janice's roll, yeah. So we got one from the ship.
Maybe I didn't do it right. Hold on. So, control security. Oh, okay, there we go. Thank.
Hey, you guys get a momentum.
Hey.
So,
Cool.
as a reminder, every momentum you spend now will increase by one. It's 1 resistance per momentum. You automatically get 1 because you are successful in the task. But if you want any more, you need to spend momentum.
And this lasts until the next time we take damage, I think.
That is after resistance, yes.
Yeah. I kind of like unloading it all to get 4 extra resistance.
That would give you 10 total.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea.
All right.
Dump all momentum.
Dump
Yeah,
all.
it's your call. You're the tactical officer.
All right. Let's see. I don't think it'll matter, but make sure to reduce your power by 1 as well. All right. Up next, Jem'Hadar. Jem'Hadar, not going to fire right away again. Instead, they are going to simply scan for weakness.
You totally sounded like a leprechaun when you said that. Jem'Hadar.
Well, as you can see by the multitude of green, they scan the ever-leveling crap out of you. So that might be a problem when they fire next. But that's their whole turn. And it's your guys' go again.
Alrighty.
Hand him back.
This might be a good time. Oh wait, scan for weakness gets rid of evasive maneuvers, doesn't it?
Scan for weakness adds the piercing 2 effect to the vessel's next attack. And if any d20s are purchased for that next attack, it's +1 challenge dice damage for each bonus d20 purchased. And I'm going to say, just so you can see what's going on behind the screen, they already had piercing 2. They now have piercing 4.
Lieutenant,
How
evasive actions, please.
Very well, sir. Try and find it on the core book.
I gotcha. Page 222. You're going to be rolling a daring plus con.
Daring plus con. Oh.
And the ship will be assisting you with structure plus con.
And I have an evasive action focus.
Oh, well, there you go. And the difficulty's only a 1.
Well, I'm going to freaking secure this shit. Okay. 220. Look at focus. Yes.
Wow. Oh. Wow. Very nice.
Let's do it for the ship too.
I was saying, now let's see with the ship roll a complication.
Don't say stuff like that. Why would you curse me like
Stop
that? What's
If
the
there were
ship?
money in the
asking.
future, we would pay
Come on,
you
Janice.
$10.
You're lucky. You're a lucky man.
Wait, so what's the ship rolling? Engines and what?
Engines and con. No, sorry, structure and con.
Structure and con. Okay. Sorry. I hear the little snicker on the back of your voice there.
I mean,
Structure and con. We always have a focus.
hey, so that's what is that? That's
Force momentum.
That's 4 momentum, yeah.
Ooh, buddy.
All right, so Janice doing what Janice does best. Also remember to subtract 1 power. Janice gets the Arcadia moving in, I don't know, which evasive pattern? Delta, Beta, Gamma, Epsilon?
Omega.
Omega. Ooh, going for the Omega. All right. All right, so the Arcadia dips, bobs, and weaves in preparation to avoid the next attack. Which is probably a good thing, because that's exactly what the Jem'Hadar are going to do. So, they are rolling at +1 difficulty, because they've already fired once, plus another difficulty because you are evading, so their overall difficulty is a 4. And they not only fail, but they roll a complication. That's a natural 20. So, instead of firing at you, they suffer some power loss. And if anyone could see inside the bridge, you'd see some Vortas screaming at some Jem'Hadar about how they're failures of life and how they're going to be docked Ketracel White. But you can't see that, so... that comes back to the Arcadia. So, Arcadia, what you doing?
So who hasn't gone yet? We still need...
I see internal systems, which would be basically engineering, and sensor operation, which would be Hai Long.
Maybe scan for weaknesses.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Alrighty. So, if Hailong wants to roll me a... I just had this. There it is. Hailong is rolling a control plus science. And the ship is rolling sensors and security. The difficulty is a 1 after accounting for ranges and for ship talents. So, yeah, just a difficulty 1 task. And Hailong will have a focus.
Who's rolling for how long?
Yeah, who is rolling for Hailong?
Oh, I'm sorry. My dogs were barking, so I didn't hear you. I got it. I'll do the automations or the NPC stuff. Where the hell does Hailong go? There he is. There she is.
Doctor and Carruthers, what do y'all want to do during this combat?
Rolling.
All right.
No. Hailong's rolling what? That was me.
Oh, control and science for her.
Control and science.
And then if someone besides Janice could do the ship, sensors and security from the ship, please.
I can do the
I'll
ship.
do- Sure.
Okay. Yeah,
Okay.
Brent hasn't rolled too much this combat. Let's let him do stuff.
Yeah.
What is I'm sorry. What is Hailong doing right now?
She is control and sciencing.
Right. What is she doing with that?
Oh, scanning for weakness.
Scan for weak.
What's our difficulty at this range?
Sensors and sensors operation and modification.
Yes, that would work.
Okay.
What's our difficulty
Just
here?
a 1.
Oh, nice.
What's the roll for the ship again?
Doesn't matter, because Hailong doesn't get any
Oh.
successes.
Oh, okay.
And my streak's done.
Yeah.
I popped the top with the double.
So, Hailong just does her best to scan and says, "Remember that whole radiation in the area, Captain? Need I say more?"
Fair enough.
Alright. Again, we come around to the Jem'Hadar. Jem'Hadar aren't really pleased at this point. Though they have fired twice already. They realize, hey, you know what'd be neat? What if, and this is just a theory, what if they got a little
Fired
closer
again.
and fired? So,
I like a little less.
they are, for their action, actually not going to move closer. They are going to move farther away. But let me check ranges.
2 to 6 is medium.
Right, but I'm seeing if I'm going to have to expand the map. It's looking like I might have to. Here's what we'll do. We'll move you guys here. And then I can put them down here. And that should be 7. Nope. I can actually put you guys back where you were. And that should be 7. Yes, that's 7. They move to long range. And sit there. That's their whole turn.
Oh, they stop. They stop moving.
Yep.
Okay.
Arcadia, it's your guys' go again. Right now, the only thing remaining is engineering, but you can choose to double up on an action type if you want to take increased difficulty.
Suppose we could regain some lost power or shields.
Couldn't hurt.
Question.
Answer.
How does beaming out work?
So to beam out, the shields have to be lowered using a miner. And then you'd actually have to do a transporter's task, which is a whole thing.
Okay. Who's going right now?
It's up to you guys as players.
Instant hide. Let's keep our power topped off if we can.
Working on it. Insofar they haven't dealt that much damage, but
Yeah.
we can't keep this up all day. You better kill him pretty quick here.
All right, so Hyde, I'd like you to roll me either a daring or a control plus engineering. Difficulty here is going to be a 2, but good news, it exceeds a cost.
It's probably not worth momentum if it exceeds its cost, so I'm just gonna roll.
Yep.
Daring plus engineering, you said?
Daring or control plus engineering.
Focus.
Do you have power management, EPS conduits, something along those lines?
Yeah, EPS. Yeah, I have that.
That'll
I'll
work.
use that.
Hey, look at that.
That's a start.
That is.
I'll take
So base success gets you 1 point of power, and every momentum you spend from now on, well, at least for this task, it's 1 momentum per 1 power.
What do you think, guys? Worth investing any?
I mean, we're not that many down, are we?
No, in fact, with that +1, you're back up to 10 power out of 11.
I guess we could add, just might as well up to full. We've got 4 momentum.
Yeah, we might as well.
All right.
Cool. Alrighty. So
like you said,
yeah,
we got plenty left. Please kill them. We don't have enough to do this all day.
Yep. All right. So round resets, and top of the new round, all the dots refresh. And it is the Jem'Hadar's turn. They, using some threat, are going to fire a torpedo salvo at you.
Oh, fun.
Yep. So, they need to succeed on a 3 difficulty, which they don't appear to. How much threat do I have left? You know what? I will spend the last remaining threat I have to give them a reroll. Just 1, though. And that's all they need. So, the torpedoes are fired at you, obviously. And let's see. So they had piercing 4. And what is the damage on a torpedo? So it's salvo, so it's +1. Okay, so it's going to be this many challenge dice.
Wait, the torpedoes get piercing 4 too?
Mm-hmm. Any weapon.
Mm.
Oh, no, you're right. It should only be piercing 2 for the torpedoes. You're right. Thank you for correcting me. That could very well make a difference, especially with that many effects. So let's break it down. So that's 8 resistance gone. You had 10, so that's 2. So you take 3 damage to your shields, and you feel fine.
But we lost all of our resistance boost.
Yep, your resistance gone. I mean, you still have the 6 that you had originally.
6, yeah.
But yeah, so torpedoes kind of cascade across your shields. The entire ship shakes a little bit, but shields are holding. And it is y'all's go.
Okay, I'm going to direct Klein to send a quantum torpedo salvo at their weapon system. And because I have the decisive leader talent, we get to retain the initiative for free whenever I assist or direct. This time I'm only going to assist and not direct. So it still happens on your action, but if that makes sense. So my action is just assist, which doesn't happen until you go, but I get to retain. I get to retain the initiative for free, so you can just go immediately.
So let's break it down. What's happening? So Klein, you're firing torpedoes. That's difficulty 3. By firing torpedoes, you give me some threat. Excuse me. Apparently, I've got a bit of indigestion. Hopefully, that didn't get picked up. A salvo adds a challenge dice to the damage. And let's see. I feel like I'm missing something, but let's just keep it loose. So yeah, you are rolling a control plus security. The ship is assisting with weapons plus security. And the difficulty overall is a 3.
Oh, okay.
And, oh, that was the other thing. I knew I was forgetting something. Are you specifically targeting their weapons? Because if you are, that's a difficulty 4 instead of a difficulty 3.
It's not, because we have fast targeting systems as a ship talent.
Hey, look at that. Ignore me.
Yeah. And I'm assisting Presence Command.
Yes, you are.
Man, I hate when I don't have focuses that apply for ship combat. It's great. Alright. So that pops up soon. Roll 20's being a jerk.
Well, I see 3 successes already, so as long as Klein rolls at least 1...
Might take a bit, because I have the roll 20 thing where it says, like, my connection's been interrupted, so who knows? Oh. It says I got 1.
I didn't post.
Wait.
Yeah, I'm not seeing it.
Oh, boy. Huh. It showed up on here for me. I think.
We'll go by honor rolls. What did you roll?
It says here, right above Hyde's like chat thing, it said I got like an 18 and a 4.
Okay, so it's not a 20. We'll go with the 4. All right, so you succeed. You guys get a momentum. And I will say that you do have some options here. Let's see. Oh, no, you can't do that because it's not a powered weapon. Okay. Let's see. So, a quantum torpedo for you guys is, what, an 8 challenge
8.
dice?
I think it's, yeah, because it's 3, no, it's 9, I think. 'Cause it's 4 plus 5, or...
I trust whatever on the sheet.
It's 7.
All right.
But we did a salvo, which changes that number.
To an 8, yes. So, okay. Klein, if you could roll me 8 challenge dice, please.
And also grants what, spread?
Spread.
Okay.
And, because they're quantums, they have Vicious 1.
Mm-hmm. And high yield.
Yep.
Oh, yeah, okay. We have security, so that's why it's...
I'm not sure if it showed up for you guys, but here for me, I can send a picture over chat if you want me to. I had 3 zeros and then 5 1 plus effect, is what it says on here.
5 1 plus effect. All right.
So that's 10 damage.
Yeah, that is 10 damage.
And it's activating spread for a bunch.
And you're
Klein refresh
specifically.
Oh, yeah.
I think we, though, spend a momentum to reroll the 3 zeros.
Okay.
You have 5.
Spend a momentum. I'll roll the 3 zeros, though.
Okay.
Because he's having issues.
Yeah, that sounds fair. You want to spend another momentum? I think it's repeatable. Is it repeatable?
Yeah, it's super repeatable.
No, it is not. Reroll damage does not have an R. Sorry.
Wait, really?
But not to worry. You could spend 1 repeatable, even though this was really supposed to be rolled before the hand. I'll let it happen. You can spend 1 momentum to negate 2 resistance per each momentum spent, or what should really happen and be the only option, you could add flat 1 damage per momentum. But I'm feeling nice, so I'll let you do the penetration if you so wish.
I would like to do I would so wish. Okay. And I think it would take us 3 momentum because they've got scale 6.
It's probably a safe assumption.
Want to do the last one just to be kept for later?
Yeah, let's save that last one.
All right. So, everyone's cool with what's happening. No take backsies. We're ready.
Correct.
Okay. Here's what happens then. Climb.
Yep.
You lock on to the weapon systems of the Jem'Hadar battlecruiser. And their antics amuse you. Much like how Crowley amused you during your fight earlier. And you feel nothing as you press the button. You feel a professional detachment. And streaking out from the Arcadia's underside of the saucer section are, we'll say 3 or 4 blue streaks of pulsating light. They fly towards the Jem'Hadar battlecruiser. And the first one hits. causing the Jem'Hadar cruiser to reel and buck as its inertial dampeners fail. The second one hits. Great rippling blasts tear through the hull of the ship. And then the third one hits, knocking not only their entire left wing clear of the vessel, but causing cascading explosions throughout the rest of the hull. And then finally, the fourth one impacts where the bridge would be. And not only is the Jem'Hadar battlecruiser utterly destroyed, but it doesn't even get a peep off before it is. But it is gone. And we're out of combat.
Well,
The hell?
one
I mean-
shot, one kill.
Yeah, not gonna lie. So that was 10 spread with high yield, and you did a salvo. So that's kind of an instant killer if it has no resistance.
So how much damage was that done to them?
So spread, as I refresh my memory here, it's what? It's 1 per effect rolled, and you got what? How many effects? 5. So,
I think it's half the damage rounded down plus 1 for each effect.
right, but if you remember, you rolled 10, and half of that is 5, and 5 is a breach, but you also have high yield,
yeah.
which is another breach. It's dead. It's super dead. It's so dead, Q isn't able to bring it back. It is gone.
Crothers will just kind of go, I'll be in transporter room. Bad.
All right. Let's return to our mission and let's save this colony. Janice, when you're ready, let's get that away team going.
Yes, sir.
All right. And because I do want to, well, not necessarily make this a 3-parter, but because I think this is a wonderful time to pause the action, because I feel like the next part is going to lead into interesting things, I think this is where we're going to pause the session, or at least end this one. But as we sort of cut away, as Janice and the rest of the away team move to the transporter room, Tivna sort of snaps her finger and says, I've got it. I've invented fractal encryption. Where the hell did the ship go? And that's where we're going to end the session.
You're welcome.
So, players, of course, stick around. We'll chat for a little bit, see what's going on. But anyone watching on Twitch or YouTube, thank you so much for watching. And hopefully we will see you in a couple weeks. Bye-bye, YouTube.